Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. Beautiful night here in Pittsburgh as the Cubs and the Pirates open the final series before the All-Star break. It's the first of three here on CSN. Great to have you with us for Cubs baseball. Jim DeShays and Len Casper. The Cubs got in about 5 a.m. this morning, so it's been a quick day for them as Jake Arrieta will face Francisco Liriano tonight. Cubs have dropped 7 of 8. Pirates have won 7 of 8, but the Cubs have dominated this season series.
Yeah, indeed they have. And after sweeping the Pirates back in mid-June, the Pirates found themselves 15 games out of first place, but they've surged and they've closed to within 8.5. But the season series shapes up this way. The Cubs have won 8 out of 9. They've done a lot of hitting. They've pitched very well. Jake Arrieta, as you know, owns the Pirates. He's 3-0 against them this year.
Yeah, so let's talk about that starting pitching matchup. You just saw the numbers team-wise and the pitching numbers. Everything seems to favor the Cubs on paper, but we don't play the game on paper.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing because Arrieta has been at his best against the Pittsburgh Pirates, but recently he has had his struggles, so it will be interesting to see how this plays out here tonight. 3 starts against the Pirates this year. Jake has won them all with an 0.86 ERA. Liriano, who used to be so tough on the Cubs, has had his struggles against them this year. He's got a 10.45 ERA, but that's pretty indicative of the year he's having. He's really struggled.
The Cubs have built their excellent record mainly on their success against their own division. 25-11 against the Central. Cubs and Pirates open up a weekend set next. By Binny's Beverage Depot. If Ben Zobrist gets a hit in the first inning, Binny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. And a gorgeous setting for baseball here in Pittsburgh. Tim Buss, the Cubs strength coach, had a nice stretch earlier this year. Cubs won like 10 out of 11 with him exchanging the lineup cards, so he's back out there to maybe change their fortunes here before the All-Star break. The Cubs have an 8-game lead on the St. Louis Cardinals. As JD mentioned, 8.5 ahead of third place Pittsburgh. So in the short term here recently, you've got 2 teams going in opposite directions, but the Cubs' great start has allowed them to struggle, and they still maintain a pretty healthy lead.
Yeah, and then their struggles over the last month has allowed the Pirates' optimism to stay in the race. This is a big weekend series, obviously, for both these clubs. Pirates try to inch a little bit closer to the Cubs, and the Cubs just trying to change the narrative around their ball club right now, which has mostly been negative. for the last couple of weeks plus. And Joe Madden hoping to win this series so he can have a nice relaxing All-Star break before getting busy back at Wrigley when the second half starts.
And the Cubs have a lot of games at home coming up to start the second half. Time now for greater coverage of baseball. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Matt Harvey, thoracic outlet syndrome, is going to undergo season-ending surgery and had been struggling with a 4-10 record through 17 starts.
Yeah, and recovery time about 4 months for that procedure. And I think the fear was if he tried to, work his way through this season, then had surgery postseason, maybe that would impact next spring training. So he's decided to have the surgery. The Mets are going to move forward without him. They have plenty of pitching without him, but obviously that's a big loss, because if he were to return to be the Matt Harvey of a couple of years ago, it would have been another ace in the hole for Terry Collins.
We'll set the umpires for you. Alfonso Marquez back of the plate. The crew chief Larry Vanover is at first. David Rackley at second. Chris Guccione at third. And we'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on Halo Cooperative Telephone in Halo, Iowa tonight. Veteran southpaw Francisco Liriano will face this Cubs Southwest starting lineup. And the Cubs have hit 36 homers against lefties since May 1st, leading Major League Baseball during this stretch. Zobrist, Bryant, and Rizzo. Chris with 7 homers his last 11 games. Contreras with the big hit in the 8th inning that briefly gave the Cubs the lead against the Braves. Russell, Hayward, Baez playing third tonight. And the battery, 8 and 9, Montero and Arrieta, has hit 2 homers this season.
Pirates defensively is brought to you by Cricket Wireless. Pretty good group defensively. They've made 42 errors, third fewest in the National League. Marte won a Gold Glove last year. McCutchen won one 3 or 4 years ago. Polanco's in right. Freeze at third. Sean Rodriguez plays all over the diamond. Josh Harrison's the second baseman. John Jaso, pretty much a newbie there at first base. Eric Kratz will do the catching tonight. They're a little banged up in the catching department. And the Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Francisco Liriano, and he's just pursuing good right now. He has really struggled. 5-8 with a 5.34 ERA. That's the third highest earned run average in the National League among qualifiers. Walks the big issue. Leads the league with 55 of those. A walk rate of 14%, the highest in baseball. We've seen him awfully good, though, at times against the Cubs. Not so much this year. We'll go fastball that'll max out 95, 96, but more likely you're going to see 92, 93s with pretty good run. A little slider and a changeup. Patience, the buzzword for the Cub hitters against Liriano.
So switch hitting Ben Zobrist. And Liriano's first pitch misses for ball 1.
Eric Kratz, first pitch of the game, taking issue with Alfonso Marquez strike zone. And you look at our Menards pitch tracks and you can understand why.
He did it again, and this time got the call. 1-1 to Zobrist. 17th time he has led off a game and has reached 8 of his first 16 tries, including a couple of homers. Bryant and Rizzo to follow. The wind and the 1-2 on the right field line and slicing out of play. 82 degrees and a big crowd on hand.
Lots of folks, pretty night. A little breeze, maybe pushing towards left a little bit. Well, it's west southwest at 9 miles per hour is what it is.
Off the inside corner on 93. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They talk about certain pitchers working vertically in the strike zone. He works horizontally. There's Polanco with an easy play. That's the first out. That change up when it's working with the slider, about 85, 86.
Yeah,
one goes one direction, the other goes the other.
Yeah, very difficult to read. Comes out of that slot. The hitters talk about the tunnel where the ball releases. They're kind of seeing that spot, and tough to recognize changeup spin. So the two-seamer runs one way, the changeup the same way, and then the slider the opposite way.
Chris Bryant a little beaten up. Big welt just outside his left knee, and he drives one out into left center. McCutchen will chase it down. Bryant on his way to second. Going to be a play there, and he is safe with a double. Big gaps here, particularly in left center. Maybe the biggest gap in all of baseball. So you hit it in that area, even with the speed the Pirates have in the outfield. That should be two, and it was. Yeah,
you see an outfielder moving laterally, especially away from the throw. You're going to try to take advantage. And Bryant, despite being doubled off last night in a key play, a very good base runner. Usually makes good decisions and gets himself into scoring position.
That'll bring up Anthony Rizzo. He got hit by a pitch last night, and look, he's got some protection on the upper right arm as a result.
Yeah, he really got smoked last night on the elbow. Said he was having a hard time straightening his arm today.
A three-time All-Star. Pitch by Liriano is a strike, bottom of the zone. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future performance, but with the Cubs struggling here so much lately, they are playing a team that they've beaten a lot going back to last year. The Cubs have won 12 of the last 15 against the Pirates. Beat them in the wild card game here in the playoffs. Again, it's a storyline or a narrative until it's not. And the Cubs swept the Mets in the season series last year and then got swept in the playoffs. And now, after winning 7 in a row, have lost 8 in a row to New York. This game can be head scratching at times. I guess the game is like dandruff. In so many words.
I've heard that phrase at the beginning of that. The game is like ... But I believe that's the first time I've heard the dandruff metaphor or analogy.
Contreras on deck, 2-2 on Rizzo as the Cubs try to strike first. Something they have not done a whole lot here lately. Inside. Went up to 95 miles an hour. 3-2.
And left-handed batters hitting 200 against Liriano. They've hit 3 home runs against them. Righties 286 with 11 long ones. The thing with Anthony, even with the sore arm, tough lefty on the mound, just his presence in the batter's box. Work counts, take walks.
Ball 4. And with Liriano, some of the walks are about not hitting his spots. Some are kind of by design, trying to get guys to go out of the strike zone.
Yeah, he's always been a guy who's done a lot of work out of the zone, and I think the longer he's in the league, especially within the division, the more looks you have at him. And I think that's part of what's going on with Jake Arrieta too. Hitters start to adjust their game plan a little bit, and then it becomes incumbent on the pitchers to, okay, you're going to be a little more patient. I need to be a little more aggressive.
Wilson Contreras, quite an eventful night last night. First career 3-hit game, including the dramatic go-ahead 2-run triple in the 8th. Say yesterday, it was almost this morning.
I love the reaction after the contact. He throws his hands out to the side. He can hit, he can run. pound his chest with the best of them, too. He was fired up.
And a tense discussion with Jeff Francoeur later about an inside pitch Hector Rondon threw. I'm guessing he slept well, even though he didn't get to sleep until very early this morning. Cubs got to their team hotel around 5:30 or so.
Yeah, it's not good when you go to your room and the morning paper's waiting for you at the door.
Swing and a miss. It's 2-1.
Ariano twice has won Comeback Player of the Year awards.
Once in each league. 2010 with Minnesota, 2013 with the Pirates.
Up until this year, he'd been very consistent with the Pirates. 2013, pitched to a 3.02 ERA. The last two seasons, a 3.38 earned run average. Exactly in each of the last 2 years. And blown up on him this year. He's allowed 14 home runs this year. He allowed 15 all last year.
Contreras, a one-hopper to short. Rodriguez, the throw to Harrison is on the bag apparently. And they force Rizzo for out number 2. The Cubs will have him at the corners.
And they're also going to take a look and contemplate a challenge on this forced play at second base.
Normally it's Jordy Mercer, but Rodriguez looking like Mercer there on that play. And I think he got him. And another look.
Hard to tell. Good look here. Got him. Yep. Great replay.
There's the Cubs all-star shortstop Addison Russell hitting 5th in the lineup. He bats with Bryant at 3rd and Contreras at 1st. And he swings at the first pitch and hits a high fly to left. Still some issues out there here in the early evening hours. Marte makes the catch and the inning is over, and the Pirates are coming up against Jake Arrieta. Road trip 6th in the league in runs scored. Their Southwest starting lineup: Jaso, Polanco, and McCutchen at the top. Freese, Marte, and Harrison. Marte found out he finished as the runner-up. Then the final man voting, Brandon Belt, makes the All-Star team. Rodriguez, Kratz, and Liriano rounded out.
Cubs defensively brought to you by Cricket Wireless. Hey, that looked like Pop Stargell down there. Contreras, Hayward, Bryant cover this very expansive outfield at PNC Park. Baez, Russell, Zobrist, and Rizzo are on the infield, third to first. Miguel Montero behind the plate. And the Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Jake Arrieta. 12-3, 233 the earned run average. Well documented. He has had his struggles lately. Command has been an issue. A lot of walks. Not so much last time out, but in his previous starts. But he has absolutely dominated this Pirate club. 10-1 with a 1.31 ERA against them, including the wild card game last year.
Yeah, that's 13 career starts, including a playoff victory. He's basically got the lowest ERA ever against the Pirates as a starting pitcher with a minimum of a dozen outings. Swing and a miss on the slider.
Good one there. Jaso taking a big swing there on 1-0. Normally a patient hitter. Will work a walk.
Awkward landing. Wide open stance. And a 1-1 foul back.
Last year and this in this ballpark, 5 starts for Jake. He's 4-0 with an 0.47 earned run average. 38 in the third innings pitched, 2 earned runs.
Making his 18th start. First time All-Star. Going in with some heat. Backs Jaso off the dish. 2-2. Polanco next, then McCutchen. Pirates with no all-stars in terms of position players. Their closer Mark Melanson will head to San Diego. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Jaso is tardy on a fastball.
Maybe thinking about that swing and miss slider from Arrieta. So late getting started on a good heater. Credit Jake with 2 ugly hacks induced in that sequence. This guy gets better and better. Lots of doubles.
He leads their team in OPS at 873. Pirates are in a bit of a transition mode, particularly with their starting pitching. They hope to get Garrett Cole back off the DL after the break. They've got all these kids who keep showing up.
Yeah, Tyone, Glasnow, Cool, Brault. Run 4 rookies out there in the last month. 4 different starting pitchers.
Josh Bell, a switch hitting first baseman, will be here this weekend to be used as a pinch hitter. Got a center fielder, Austin Meadows, who's actually on the DL in the minor leagues, but he may not be far away. A lot of talent in this Pirate organization. One and 2 on Polanco.
Yeah, from the Pirate press notes, 4 youngsters making their debuts as starting pitchers this year. First time that's happened for the Pirates since 1903.
McCutchen on deck. Called strike 3.
This is a very positive development. It's just 2 batters, but he looks very sharp here tonight. Jake with 3 double-digit strikeout games this year. 2 of them have come against the Pirates. Polanco was bailing out there, and a sinker right over the heart of the plate. But he was guessing and guessed wrong.
So 2 down, and it is McCutchen, not an all-star this year for the first time in the last 6 seasons. So the Pirates, each of the last 3 years, have been a second-place club, which has gotten them into the wild card. They're 1 and 2 in the wild card game. Losing each of the last two. That's picked up by Baez, and he makes the play. And the inning is over. A 1-2-3 for Arrieta. 0-0 after one.
Out there on the Allegheny. If she catches 3 in a row, she gets a sardine. Cub fans, let's go. Plan now for the August and September push toward the playoffs. Tickets are still available for the second half playoffs. But don't wait, they're going fast. Visit Cubs.com today. Don't wait. Don't be left out.
Lefty-lefty matchup to start the second. Liriano and Hayward. A called strike. 4 games in the 6th spot, and Hayward with a .500 on base percentage, reached 3 times last night. That's high. 1-1.
You get an idea of the command issues that Liriano has had, where Kratz was set up and where that pitch ended up. A long way from the intended target. Where a lot of guys like to go on Hayward, in and up a little bit. Action. 94 with life on that heater.
Ground ball to Jaso. He'll beat Hayward to first. A reminder, Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. Javier Baez stands in. In 7th tonight.
Don't be talking about me back there.
Night game tomorrow, day game Sunday, 4-day All-Star break after that.
Liriano at his best gets a lot of swings and misses at that slider changeup combination out of the strike zone. He has not done that as much this year. He doesn't throw strike one very often, and that may be the reason why he's not getting the chases. And hitters not quite as anxious in hitters' counts.
Baez just got hit. Cubs batters have been hit a ton here lately. So a one-out base runner. He's got padding on that upper left arm, and that definitely helped dull the pain a little bit. Many things will generally tell you whether that type of pitch was intentional or not. The fact that it was 0-2 when it happened would tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, why would I don't know of any dealings those two have had in the past. Why would Liriano, who's really struggled here of late, why would he hit somebody, put somebody on base?
Left field and deep and foul.
Pirates do hit a lot of batters. They believe strongly in pitching inside, and that's a byproduct of pitching inside.
Liriano's 32. He signed with the Giants back in 2000. Out of the Dominican Republic. Showed up at a Giants tryout camp as an outfielder, but they liked him as a pitcher. Montero gets hit. So back-to-back to bring up Arrieta, 2 on with 1 out.
Reminiscent of the Cubs' 8th inning rally last night to take the lead against the Braves with back-to-back hit batters. Baez and Montero this time, and now Arrieta up there. Chance to help his own cause.
Yeah, Liriano came in at 290. Arrieta at 306 on the year with a couple of home runs. He homered 2 starts ago in Cincinnati. And he has 4 in his career, all coming within the last calendar year. Pirates not expecting a bunt at this point. Double play depth around now. Freeze inches in at third. And Jake takes ball 1.
Liriano last time out. Got to win. But he went 5 innings, allowed 6 hits, 3 runs at Oakland. He's not had a quality start since the end of May.
2-0. Couple of borderline calls went against Liriano. And Marquez hearing it from the third base dugout. Swing and a miss. And the 2-1 is fouled off. Patrick Corbin has a higher batting average among National League pitchers than these two guys. Baez at second, Montero at first, 2-2 to Arrieta. Harrison will step on second, double play to end the inning. That goes 4-3. So the Cubs rally fizzles. 0-0.
Blue Harbor Resort on the shores of Lake Michigan. Overnight package includes accommodations for 4 in a luxurious family fireplace suite with 4 passes to Break Bay Water Park. Enter now at csnchicago.com/Blue Harbor. Tell them what they've won, Johnny. That sounds wonderful. That sounds like a good place to spend the All-Star break. For a tired analyst can't enunciate because he hasn't had enough sleep.
Yeah, this is the end here this weekend of a long stretch. 24 in a row without an off day. The reason that happened was because of the makeup game last night at home against Atlanta.
Well, great start for Arrieta. 1-2-3 inning, a couple of punch outs. Used just 13 innings in that first inning, so efficient. Pitches. What did I say?
13 innings. You know what he meant.
Write it down for me. you know the way I think. Just write it down and I'll read it. 13 pitches in that inning, and in recent starts, that's been part of the problem. High pitch count innings early.
1-0 on Freeze, deep right, and it will get out above the Clemente wall for an opposite field home run. Freeze now with a 9-game hitting streak, and that's his 10th homer.
Yeah, he's been on a nice roll. The long ball has been coming frequently for him of late. That's number 10 on the year for him. Just the 6th one that Jake has allowed. 3rd one all year to a right-handed batter. He's trying to be aggressive with the fastball, and Freeze ambushes him. That's your Ford home run replay. Freeze showing good power the other way.
So leadoff home run, 1-0 Pittsburgh. Home run ball's been an issue here for this Cubs staff lately. Marte again a final vote candidate for the All-Star game. He finished 2nd to Brandon Belt. So still looking for that first All-Star nod, but it'll happen at some point.
He finished below the belt.
Below the belt. Russell can't get it into left. And a base hit.
Yeah, with Marte's speed, he's probably going to beat that out anyway. Marte among the league leaders with that .318 batting average. Adds to it a little bit here as this ball eludes Addison Russell.
Now Josh Harrison, former Cub farmhand, playing second base.
Probably not a matter of if, but when Marte tries to steal here.
And he takes off. Pitches a strike. The throw gets out of the glove of Russell. And I hope both guys are all right. Marte grimacing. Little collision there at the bag. Marte with his 26th stolen base. Came in 2nd in the NL.
Yeah, did not have a real big lead and not a great jump. Good strong throw there by Montero, who's really had his struggles.
Came in trailing Jonathan VR of the Brewers with 28 atop the NL. The 0-1 to Harrison is low and outside.
Yeah, Marte and Harrison both base stealing threats for the Pirates.
David Ross is on the concussion DL. Wilson Contreras scheduled to get the start behind the plate tomorrow night with John Lester on the mound. Lester on the left, and Sunday's Cubs starter on the right, John Lackey. Two and two.
Chad Kuhl, one of the rookies the Pirates have called up recently, will go tomorrow, and then Jonathan Neese on Sunday. He's had his struggles, high ERA. Same for Jeff Locke.
Got a John with no H, a John with an H, and a Jonathan. Fly ball deep center. Hayward to the warning track. He's got it right up against the wall. And I think Harrison telling himself, man, if I could have pulled it just a little bit more, it might have had a shot. Although it does get out to 410 in that north side notch. Marte is now at third with one out.
Now Harrison with just 3 long balls this year pumps this one pretty much straight away center field. Marte with a smart play, tagging and getting to third base.
And the Cubs will bring their infield in against Sean Rodriguez, the shortstop.
Boy, Marquez a little tight on that outside edge. We've seen a few from Liriano, and now the slider from Arrieta. Pretty good looking pitch. Rodriguez doesn't play every day. He's valuable, plays all over the field, and he's having a nice year with the bat.
Cut and a miss. 1-1 on the very versatile Sean Rodriguez.
Where the hell are you, man? I still have it.
Deep left and way gone. 2-run homer, Rodriguez.
Breaking ball backed up right into the swing of Rodriguez. He's got power. And he just showed you right there. That's the Ford home run replay. Well, second inning not working out quite like the first.
14th career start for Jake against the Pirates, including the wild card last year. It's the 3rd time he's given up more than 2 runs. You go back to September 25th of 2013. As Kratz trying to get out of the way, that ball hit his bat and it's foul. In his starts, here's what he's allowed in terms of runs, and he's gone at least 6 innings, mostly 7 in those starts. 1-1-1-0, 2-0-0-0-2-0. And tonight has already allowed 3. Called strike 3. So 2 down, and we'll bring up Liriano.
Yeah, an 0.75 ERA for Jake. His last 10 starts against the Pirates leading into this one. But as you said earlier, past results, no guarantee of future performance.
So the beneficiary of this run support, Liriano.
Liriano was thinking that perhaps Jake would plunk him after a couple hit batsmen. He was backing out as the pitch was being delivered.
Yeah, I know there are different schools of thought on protecting your hitters in terms of a pitching staff and retaliation, but Cubs have bigger things to think about right now.
Well, it's you know, if you're convinced somebody took a shot at one of your guys, then it makes sense to respond. And at some point, even if guys aren't hitting you on purpose and you're getting hit all the time, sometimes you want to send the message, hey, be careful when you go inside on my guys.
Liriano strikes out 4 for Arrieta, but 2 homers in the inning. Freese and Rodriguez, and it's 3-0 Pittsburgh. And Chicago.com, presented by State Farm. Jake Arrieta, his previous 10 starts against the Pirates had allowed 0 home runs and just gave up 2 in the second. Freese and Rodriguez, left side of the Pirate infield.
Glenn Hurl's got to be feeling awfully good about his decision to give Rodriguez a start here tonight.
Yeah, Clint's got a lot of options. Pretty strong pool of position players. Mercer normally plays short. Matt Joyce, an outfielder's had a terrific season. Jung Ho Kang is on the bench tonight as well. Swing and a miss by Zobrist. And clanked by Freese. There's a start.
Trying to make a play on the backhand side, a little bit of an in-between hop to contend with. He probably should have made. Mani.
Here's Bryant. He doubled in the first, and he hooks one foul on the ground.
Well, one of the themes of last night's frustrating loss to the Braves was the inability to cash him in. They had, what, 4 consecutive innings with a leadoff man on base. A couple times they had first and second, nobody out.
3 innings. 3 different innings. First and second, nobody out, and did not get a run. Liriano ready. And Bryant lifts to left. Shallow. Marte has it. One away.
Bartolo Colon is headed to the All-Star game. He's going to replace Madison Bumgarner, who's scheduled to pitch on Sunday.
Michael Saunders, the American League Final Vote winner of the Blue Jays. Dexter Fowler DHing tonight for the South Bend Cubs as they host Bowling Green. A Midwest League matchup. So Dexter on his rehab assignment. Probably play the field tomorrow. Not scheduled to be activated before Sunday. So his next big league action possibly could be in the All-Star game Tuesday night. Voted in as the starting outfielder. Tap by Rizzo on the ground. Liriano will get him. Zobrist is at second. 2 outs.
If Bartolo Colon makes an appearance in that All-Star game, he will be the 3rd oldest pitcher to pitch in an All-Star game, behind Satchel Paige, who was 47 in 1953, and Mariano Rivera, who was 43 in 229 days in 2013. Colon will be 49 days on Tuesday. Let's hope he gets in there. That would be fun.
Contreras with a runner at second, 2 outs. Called strike.
There are probably some more deserving than Bartolo, but he's having a nice year. 7-4 with a 3.28 ERA.
This might be his last shot.
Yeah, he's.
How many times has he been an All-Star?
I don't know, but apparently today, when asked about it, he was very excited to be going, and said next year will probably be his last year.
This is his 4th All-Star appearance. How about this? 1998, 2005, 2013, and 2016. It's quite a spread, isn't it? The course of 18 seasons and spread out 4 times an All-Star. One 1-2.
Contreras has a hit in every start he has made except for 2. That long streak of reaching base going back to his time at AAA.
Pirates really testing their catching depth. Right now their tandem is Kratz and Fryer. Got 3 guys on the DL. Cervelli, Chris Stewart, and Elias Diaz.
Yeah, Kratz and Fryer both coming from other major league teams. Earlier this year, Pirates had to react to the injury to Cervelli. What'd Stewart do?
Stewart has a knee Diaz coming off elbow surgery. Cervelli's got a broken hamate bone in his left hand.
Kratz was with Houston earlier this year. Fryer was a Cardinal.
Should have been a Padre.
Absolutely.
2-2.
Or chicken.
Called strike 3 to end the inning. Cubs are getting base runners, but they have yet to score.
Think eClick Lending. Whether looking to purchase or refi, never pay lender fees with eClick Lending. Visit us online at eclicklending.com to lock in your low rate today. eClick Lending. Point, click, save.
Good to see Cubs blue in the stands here in Pittsburgh. Bottom of the third. 3-0 Pirates. Ball one on Jaso. Arrieta to the plate. It's a strike. Pirates had a bad June. They went 9-19, but 6-1 to start July.
The 7-game winning streak just snapped in the finale of their series with the Cardinals. That all came on the road. They've not gotten a lot of length out of their starting pitchers during this run. The bullpen has been spectacular.
Could have been nationally, though.
The 3-1. Jaso on a bounce to Zobrist. A little bobble, but Ben has time. On Sunday, July 17th, the Cubs host the Texas Rangers at 1:20. Up to the first 5,000 kids 13 and younger will get a Cubs family decal presented by Gonella Baking Company. Actually, that's plural, Cubs family decals. After the game, the first 1,000 kids 13 and younger can run the bases, weather permitting. For more info, visit cubs.com/kids. Kid at heart right there.
You just told me to get big names.
Polanco. The rainbow out into deep center, but a lot of real estate. As Hayward backs up to the warning track to make the catch. Boy, Polanco, when that ball left the bat, he kind of gave it that look. He hit it 300 and what? 85 feet?
Yeah. Hit it a long way for a ball with such a high trajectory. Maybe a little helping wind out there tonight.
.373 feet according to StatCast. Distance of that fly out. McCutchen came in at 238. That average will go up here as he doubles into the stands and left. He's 1 for 2. He has always hit Cubs pitching. He normally hits everybody.
He's been good against Jake in his career. 9 out of 31 coming into this ball game. Again, that breaking ball drifts back inside to McCutchen.
Freese homered to the opposite field in the second. Average now up to 299. And a base hit. McCutchen got a little bit of a late start. He's going to be held by Rick Sofield. I don't know if McCutchen slipped or not. Saw him out of the corner of my eye, but he got a late break. And Sofield had to hold him.
Even with the late break, I thought he would send him with 2 outs, just take a shot.
That's a break for the Cubs.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, spun his wheels.
Back-to-back 2-out hits. And here's Marte. Single steal and a run in the second. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, that's a huge break. And this big outfield, a base hit to the outfield with 2 outs and McCutchen at second base.
It's almost a gimme.
Yeah.
Marte hitting almost 340 against righties this year. He waits on a 1-1. Jan rolls to Baez, and Arrieta will get out of it with no damage. Back-to-back 2-out hits, no runs. 3-0 Pirates after 3.
with a case. Presented by Starwood Preferred Guest. For more information and ticket availability, visit Cubs.com.
Pirates lead 3-0. Cubs have won 8 of the first 9 in this season series, outscoring the Pirates 58-21. Still a handful of fans across the Clemente Bridge. Strike on Russell. Line to freeze for the out.
Man, a bit of bad luck there for Addy. He's been swinging it well lately. He's had some really good games. A bid for extra bases. Dies. In the glove of David Freese.
It's a strike on Hayward.
Hitter goes from elation to dejection in about a half a second on a ball like that.
Yep.
Gets it off the sweet spot. Really jumps off the barrel. Yeah, that's 2 bases. And then you're making a right turn.
Swing and a miss. Missed high, and it's 2-2. That's wants a slider, it appears, and Hayward held on his check swing. Really good against the Cubs last year, as Hayward powers one out into deep center. McCutchen back, and it's either off the wall. It is. Hayward on his way to third. He's got a triple. That ball hit near the top of the wall. The Cubs will obviously want maybe another look at it. Not sure if it got over the yellow line or not. Joe says we want to give another look. So Dave Martinez will make a call and says no, it stayed in. So it's a triple.
Well, Russell hit his right on the screws. Jason Hayward just misses a home run.
At the top of the green padding, you've got to get it over that yellow line above the chain link fence. Just over the ketchup bottle is where it landed, and McCutchen almost caught it. In a similar play recently, by the way, McCutchen injured his heel on an awkward landing on the warning track. First 3-base hit as a Cub for Hayward.
We talk a lot about approach with Baez. In certain situations needs to be willing to cut down the swing. This would be one of them.
Yeah, contact paramount here with the infield bat, especially when you get to 2 strikes.
Yeah, as the bat progresses. Yeah, and I doubt that he thinks on this level. I don't think a lot of players do, but certainly a young player. Understanding where you are in the batting order, too, who's coming behind you. And Montero, a left-handed hitter, next, and then the pitcher's spot. It's one thing if he's in the tool hole and he's got Bryant or Rizzo behind him. You know, still feel pretty comfortable they can get the job done if he doesn't deliver. But this is a time where you really got to be willing to shorten up, choke up a little bit. Hit a ground ball to short, get a run home.
There's that spot, 1-2.
There you go.
And on a hop, Hayward will score as Harrison makes a nice play to get Baez. Javier will get an RBI, and the Cubs are on the board.
Good work. He didn't just give himself up either. He hit that ball sharply. Stay through the middle of the diamond, get on top, hit it hard.
So it's now 3-1. Base is empty, 2 outs. Montero takes a strike.
Boy, good pitching matchup in New York tonight. You know, Syndergaard for the Mets, Steven Strasburg for the Nationals.
Easy play this time for Harrison. Cubs turn the Hayward triple into their first run.
The Cubs Authentics auction page every week for your chance to own one-of-a-kind game-used Cubs items. This week's auction includes game-used items from the 4th of July game. Go to Cubs.com/authentics before this Sunday night at 8 to place your bid. The Cubs will donate net proceeds from the sale of Cubs Authentics to Cubs charities.
Game 86 of the championship season, also known as the regular season. Cubs 52 up, 33 down. Pirates 44 and 42. And as I said in the open, the Cubs have dominated their own division, 25 and 11, by far the best intra-division record among the NL Central teams. Cleveland's done the same thing in the AL Central. They're 26 and 11 against their own division.
Harrison moved way off the plate prior to that pitch. Trying to think along with Arrieta.
Is it Houston?
He flied to deep center. His first time up, and on a curveball he taps it foul. Quicken Loan's Rocket Arms. You mentioned the Strasburg Syndergaard matchup tonight. in New York. And the Mets 3 games back after beating the Nationals last night. Nationals 2-0 in the second. Tonight, did you see reportedly Mike Rizzo?
Yeah, I saw
GM
that.
of the Nationals apparently got into a shouting match with Jim Joyce as Harrison strikes out. Late illegal slide called on Jason Worth.
Yeah, and it was interesting to read the comments out of the Nationals camp, Worth in particular, and Dusty too. It's the way baseball has always been played, and I got down before I got to the base like I'm supposed to. The rule is ambiguous. That was kind of the implication. The rule really isn't that ambiguous. He overslid the base, and as we've seen, guys are going to get called out for that.
Rodriguez with a 2-run homer in the second.
You might not agree with it. It kind of looks like a normal baseball play, but I don't know that there's anything really ambiguous about the rule. Maybe the way it's being interpreted by some guys. Yeah, but Rizzo was screamed at Jim Joy, "You blew the call," or something to that effect, and Jimmy was like, "Who are you?" He said, "Identify yourself."
0-2 from Arrieta. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's 6 punch outs for Jake. He hasn't walked anybody as Rodriguez has a conversation with Alfonso Marquez. His engine runs pretty hot, doesn't it, Rodriguez?
Yeah. I'm in the wild card game using the cooler as a speed bag.
Kratz with a ground ball to Russell. And a very nice 1-2-3 inning for Arrieta. Cubs still trail. It's 3-1 after 4. July 8th, 1947. Luke Appling and Stan Spence clutch pinch hits, leading the American League to a 2-1 win over the National League in the All-Star game at Wrigley Field. Sean Rodriguez doing all the talking. Swing and a miss. Jake is hitting for average, but if you had to kind of put him in a category in terms of a pitcher who hits, you'd say Jason Hamels a singles hitter.
Yep.
I'd say Jake is a kind of a more all or nothing guy. He's trying to hit the ball in the seats.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree?
I think to a great extent. But see, he hangs in there. You know, he doesn't got a pretty good approach. But yeah, but when he decides to turn it loose, he usually takes a pretty healthy rip. Nothing else here. See if he can make Liriano make some pitches.
Before that pitch, I was going to say he's kind of had the John Lester sequence here, keeping everything down.
A lot of run on his two-seam fastball here tonight. Maybe not a lot of sinking action, but good movement. And early on, he threw some pitches over the outside corner. He didn't get called, but I think he can afford to be a little bit more aggressive, start that ball more on the plate, and let it run to the outside part.
Ball strike 3. Two strikeouts, both looking for Liriano. Here's Ben Zobrist for the third time. The outside, ball 1. Indians 6-0 over the Yanks in the 5th. Cleveland cooled off a bit here the last couple of days at home. They had lost 2 straight after winning 13 in a row at Progressive. And a big lead tonight. Jose Fernandez pitching for the Marlins tonight in Miami. 2-1 over the Reds in the 5th. Swing and a miss on a slider.
Oh. So fast.
Too many shots of Clint Hurdle during a game that makes my jaw hurt. Watching him chop on that gum. What did he tell me last year? He puts 5 pieces of gum in his mouth when the game starts, and then it's like 1 per inning.
I think that's what you said, yeah. Maybe 3 to start and then 1 per inning. Looks like he should have on the coach's shorts and a whistle around his neck. Getting guys through 2-a-days.
All right, my yearlings, back to practice.
Sean is still working over David Rackley out there, the second base umpire, still negotiating.
Ball 4.
Well, we're getting close, aren't we? Baseball's two biggest summer events back to back. The Home Run Derby on July 11th at 7 Central, and then the very next night. Don't miss baseball's biggest stars at the 87th All-Star Game presented by MasterCard. That's July 12th. That will be Tuesday. Coverage begins at 6:30 Central.
Bryant in the right and foul.
The flight of the ball and the angle of pursuit by Polanco didn't really add up, did it?
And Bryant was not running very hard down the line either.
So they had more information than we did.
Yes. From our vantage point, it looked like it was going to be a bloop double.
How about a bloop home run?
We're not in Houston.
Yeah, or in Fenway around the pesky pole. Not going to get a bloop here. Yeah, I guess you could carve one down the right field line and be fairly cheap. It's just 320 down the line here. It's high though. The 21-foot high wall to honor number 21 Roberto Clemente.
Yeah, we have Mr. Cub and the late Ernie Banks. If you went around baseball as Zobrist runs, swing and a miss by Bryant. The throw didn't get him. Ball popped out of the mid of Harrison. Zobrist with his 4th steal of the year. Zobrist ended up headfirst into a puddle. Ooh.
Kratz throws well. Throughout his career, he's been above average in that department.
Boy, that was a scary looking slide as Zobrist fortunately has some protection on that left hand and wrist. 2-2 is low. I was going to say we've got Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. Mr. Pirate would be Roberto Clemente, right?
Well, it's Stargell too.
Yeah.
Or Mike LaValliere.
Three-2 on Bryant. Here it is, and another walk. Rizzo.
Yeah, well, sooner or later, a guy's going to show his colors, and Liriano's really struggled with the walks. He's walked more than anybody in baseball this year. Said at the outset that patience would be the buzzword for the Cub hitters. Now worked 3 walks in the ball game. Ray Searage, the fine pitching coach for the Pirates, saunters out for chat with the lefty.
Cubs held to 2 hits tonight, but back-to-back hit by pitches in the second. Zobrist reached on an error in the third, and consecutive walks here in the fifth. So they've had some traffic.
Eric Kratz was basically running that meeting. Searage didn't say anything for the longest time. Let Kratz have his say, and then a little encouragement and a pat on the chest for Liriano from the pitching coach. Rizzo will be playing a hunch here.
And he skies to left. Caught by Marte, runners back.
A.J. Schugel is done a nice job for the Pirates in middle relief.
Contreras came through last night. Let's see if he can with 2 outs here in the 5th tonight. Swing and he fouls. Strike the count. Contreras playing left tonight, will probably catch tomorrow. Throw to second. Zobrist back.
Ariana was an all-star once in his career, his first full year in the big leagues. With the Twins back in 2006. 22 years old. He went 12-3 that year.
We've at various times tonight talked about what has been a pretty fascinating career. An all-star rookie season. Did not pitch in 07 after Tommy John. Comeback player of the year 2010. Comeback player of the year 2013. A no-hitter in 2011. So the promising start, rough years in the middle, some bloated earned run averages, and got locked in here in Pittsburgh before this season, and a big strikeout on a changeup to get Contreras. Still 3-1 Pirates in the 5th. Three to 1 Pittsburgh. Cubs struggling. They've dropped 7 of 8. Pirates have won 7 of their last 8. And they're trying to draw within 7.5 in the division. Second place Cardinals are in Milwaukee tonight, trailing 1-0 in the second. Michael Wacha for St. Louis. Jimmy Nelson on the mound for the Brewers. They traded Aaron Hill. yesterday to the Boston Red Sox for a couple of minor leaguers. 0-1 on the pitcher Liriano. Ground ball through the hole into left. It's 1 for 2.
After a quick fourth, he's got the pitcher leading off the fifth, but Liriano better than most in terms of pitchers hitting. A little mistake, a high slider slapped into left for a leadoff knock. Jaso hits it on the ground a lot. Cutters in, sinkers away. Good ground ball pitches for Arrieta against a left-handed hitter.
Jaso pops it up. Baez will make the catch. That's the first out. We often have fans ask us what's your favorite road city. We have a lot of favorites, but I would say if you are looking to make a Cubs road trip at some point, you'll have options down the road because the Cubs come here 3 times a year. This is a must-see ballpark, in my opinion.
Yeah, beautiful ballpark, walkable. Stay at one of the downtown hotels. Downtown Pittsburgh over the past few years has picked up steam in terms of restaurants and things like that.
A little tougher to get tickets here than it was 10 years ago, but always a great atmosphere. I think it was Joe Sheehan who was here a few weeks ago, wrote about his favorite ballpark experiences. Wrigley Field has that, where whether you're taking the train or however you get into the neighborhood, and all of a sudden a ballpark appears in the middle of a bustling urban setting. Another infield pop-up, and Russell will make the catch. Well, here in Pittsburgh, we've got the Roberto Clemente Bridge where people are on the other side of the river and they all kind of walk across looking into the ballpark. It's just an ideal setup.
Yeah, people come streaming across, and you can imagine a family with a couple kids in the anticipation building as they see the ballpark. And then on the way back across the bridge is one of the finest saxophone players you're ever going to hear.
Yeah.
Rocking a little Flintstones theme.
Andy Griffith.
What about the roller skating guy with all the lights? We haven't seen him this year, I don't think. Birdman, they call him, yeah.
And our buddy there back of the plate, we see him, and usually he's got the cool mustache, but he always rocks the old school Pirates uniforms.
Probably not old school prices, but still it's a good look.
New school prices, old school feel.
Well, the other part of it too is in the last couple of years you're likely to see a Cub win here.
One. Line drive, base hit to center.
On July 20th, you can sit ringside with Joe Madden and Cub players and enjoy amateur boxing for a great cause. So wear your suit and sneakers, enjoy premium food and liquor, scotch tastings, and bid on great auction items held downtown in the historic Wintrust Bank building. This is sure to be a fun night for all. For details and to buy tickets, visit Cubs.com/Madden.
I want to say Theo or Jed, somebody said something about the difference between kind of being in the trenches every single day and then viewing a team or a season or a league from 30,000 feet. And we saw the Mets recently, talking to some people around their team, saying we can't score enough. They go out and they sweep the Cubs, very much in the NL East race. You come here to Pittsburgh and you hear some people say, you know, McCutchen, he just hasn't gotten it going. And our thing, we've seen McCutchen a lot, but not every single day, is he's going to hit. Because that's what he does.
Sooner or later, yeah. There's every reason to expect he would turn it around.
Right. People who've watched him every day this year say, well, he hasn't yet. But I think there's a value in being around a team every day, and I think there's also value in not.
Right.
A fresh perspective.
Yeah. It's kind of like a kid with their parents when you're young growing up. Your parents, you know, my parents, man, they make me do that. I don't like my parents. The other kids are like, hey, your parents are really cool.
Ground ball not hit very hard, but easy play for Baez at third to get Liriano. They strand two. It's still 3-1 Pirates. Our Cubs Insider all season long on CSNChicago.com, presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich, serving the community for 38 years. Go to jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. Gorgeous night. Pirates lead the Cubs 3-1. Just 2 hits off Liriano. Cubs have left at least a base runner in every inning but the 4th when they got their lone tally. Here we go. Swing and a miss.
First pitch changeup. Russell hit a rocket last time up to third base for an out.
Talking about the Cubs issues here lately, Juan Nicasio, former starter, recently moved to their bullpen. Theo said baseball reality has hit as Russell will reach. Freese has committed 2 errors tonight. Leadoff man is on.
A little flat-footed there. Did not get a good break on that ball and whiffed on it.
Here's Hayward. He tripled in the 4th and scored on the Baez ground out. The Cubs were just bludgeoning people to start the season. Starters went deep. Bullpen was well rested. Lineup top to bottom taking tons of walks. Lately the bullpen has struggled a bit. It's been used more than it was early. And Kratz no play, but he didn't see it off the bat in the twilight hours.
Yeah, I mean, the teams have historic seasons. Teams do win 100, on occasion 110 games and things like that. And so when the Cubs got off to that great start, that was in play. That was something people were talking about, and understandably. But the odds were that there'd be a rough patch, there'd be regression, and come back to the pack a little bit. And that's exactly what has happened.
That was, the starters ERA coming in 2.90, leading the majors, everybody by at least a half a run, and that's even with the mediocre outings here by several of their guys in the recent weeks. They were so good to start the year. So that 30,000-foot view that I mentioned early still applies. And that's why everybody we see every 3 or 4 days, they would rather swap spots with the Cubs in terms of where they are in the standings. But yeah, recently it has not felt so good. And Joe's line yesterday was the Winston Churchill line. If you're going through hell, just keep on going. And you just battle your way through it.
Yeah, because what happened to start the season was not a mirage. It was a prolonged stretch of really good baseball, and you got the same personnel in play. So reasonable to expect that those guys have another surge like that in them. Can you guarantee it? No. It's the beauty of baseball.
Well, here is where I go with it. If you look at track records and you look at talent, you look at what this team is, I think you'd be hard pressed to find too many examples on this Cubs team where you go, this guy's just, he can't keep doing it. Maybe a couple of small examples, but Chris Bryant is having an MVP type year, maybe a little sooner than some people thought, but he's been elite pretty much since he got here. Rizzo's been the main ingredient. Russell's just going to get better and better. Zobrist has done pretty much what you thought he would with that great hot stretch, and then he's cooled off a bit. Hayward's been the one guy offensively who has disappointed. He'd be the first to tell you.
Hayward and Montero, guys with track records who have not performed to that level. See Jason moving off the plate a little bit. That's one of the things John Maley has suggested to him. Get those arms extended a little bit. He has a tendency to tie himself up.
I think if you move forward in what the Cubs may do in terms of adding to their roster as time goes on, I think position player wise they've got plenty of depth, especially when Fowler returns. And these kids getting the experience they're getting right now will benefit everybody in the big picture. 3-2 ground ball into left. Russell stops at second. Hayward's 2 out of 3. But it's going to be pitching. You can never have enough of it. Whether that's somebody currently in the minor leagues helping out, somebody in the bullpen currently really getting locked in, or somebody from outside the organization. That's probably where it'll happen.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk, obviously, with the Cubs and the Yankees. Andrew Miller, I think to a lesser extent Chapman. I mean, either one of those guys would be a great addition to this bullpen.
That's it for Liriano. Cubs down 2, but threatening, and it's the Hyundai call to the pen. Hyundai called to the pen. Here is right-hander Juan Nicasio. He had an immaculate inning earlier this week in St. Louis. That's 3 strikeouts on 9 pitches. Recently went to the restricted list to deal with a personal matter. Returned about a week later and was put in the bullpen.
He can light it up. He can reach 98 miles an hour with the fastball, throws a slider and a change.
And I think Liriano's season is the reason Clint Hurdle made this change as quickly as he did. The Cubs only have 3 hits tonight, and his starter was leading by 2, but only can get through 5 innings plus tonight.
Yeah, I think the command issues from Liriano. So the trust factor in Liriano is probably pretty low for Clint Hurdle right now. He's got Javi Baez coming up, who's done a lot of damage against left-handed pitching. So he's going to give him a look at a fresh arm and one from the right side with the tying run on base.
Ground ball is short. 6-4-3. That hurts. 2 outs, runner at third. Man, first and second, nobody out. It's not been a good spot for the Cubs here in the last 2 days.
We're hitting into a lot of double plays in recent days. Hurdle makes the move to the bullpen and it pays off in spades. Rolls over on the breaking pitch right to Rodriguez, and then pretty easy from there.
So Russell is at third. Here's Montero with 2 gone. Foul to the screen. Carl Edwards Jr. up in the Cubs bullpen. Arrieta is on deck. So Joe wants to have options here. He gets to the pitcher spot. Boy, and that's another thing. I mean, earlier in the year, even down 3-1, if Jake had 5 innings and 65 pitches, this would not be a consideration.
No, no chance.
Cubs are not scoring runs right now. Well, earlier in the year, he wouldn't have been down 3-1.
Right.
He would have been ahead 3-1.
I would imagine that Montero has a pretty good book on Nicasio from their days competing in the NL West. Maybe all those years with the Diamondbacks. Nicasio, a former Rocky. Can't accuse him of trying to be too fine, can we, with those first two offerings? And try to crowd him.
High again. It's 2-2. By the way, the White Sox just turned their third triple play this year tonight against the Braves.
They were working on that in spring training.
Deep right off the bat of Montero. Gone! We are tied. Oh, baby. Miguel Montero. That's huge.
Huge for a lot of reasons. It ties the ball game. It perhaps provides a spark for Montero. It's been a tough go for him. Keeps Arrieta in the game, and we don't know if Joe is going to hit for him anyway. We'll find out later on. There's your Ford home run replay. Montero, for the 5th time this year, goes deep.
Three here in the 6th. New ball game and a strike to Arrieta. Strike 2.
What a costly pitch from the Pirates' point of view with Arrieta on deck. You just don't know whether he would have hit or not.
So that's the inning. Miguel Montero with 2 outs, picking up his teammates big time. 2-run line shot homer, 3-3.
Tomorrow night, Major League Soccer plays on CSN Chicago as the Fire try to maintain their perfect July record in a road match at Toronto. Coverage begins at 6. on CSN Chicago.
Three tie. Miguel Montero with a 2-run homer to tie it up. Marte shows bunt, takes a pitch low on a slider. The outside corner.
Clint Hurdle maybe second guessing himself, saying, you know what, maybe I should have just walked Montero, forced Joe's hand, make a decision on Arrieta.
But Montero, I don't even know if he was at 200 going into that at bat.
Right, that's what I mean. Yeah.
It's yeah. Ground ball picked up by Baez. He looks it in and fires a strike to Rizzo.
Good hands. Not an easy play. Balls of his feet, ready to react.
Out.
Happy birthday, Josh Harrison. He's got a little chin music for a birthday present.
Up the middle on the ground. It's Russell. Harrison turning 29 today. Sean Rodriguez homered in the second. Xfinity high-speed action.
Yeah, last time up, he got carved up by Jake Arrieta. I don't think he liked that strike call. Didn't appear particularly fond with that one either. And then swing and a miss and some words for the umpire. Looked like good pitches. And then took his grievance out to the other arbiters. Jake dots the outside corner on him.
By the way, Montero tomorrow turns 33, so an early birthday present to himself with this game-tying blast. Swing and a miss. 78. About as slow as we'll see Arrieta throw a pitch.
Down to the curveball a fair bit here tonight. He had that one bad inning. He gave him 2 home runs, but he's looked pretty crisp out there tonight. More efficient than we've seen him lately. Oh man, that's a great pitch.
So here's the question. Did all the lobbying Sean Rodriguez did have any effect on that not being called? I'm going to say probably not. But you never know. That's the theory, right? You argue early, maybe you buy a call later.
I'm really glad that
3 ground ball outs, 3-3 to the 7th.
ticket holder waiting list today to claim your spot in our lineup for season tickets. It's easy and oh so free to register. For details, visit Cubs.com/waiting list. Dolly Feliz, been one of the more dependable arms in their bullpen, and he's on for the 40th time. 2-0 with a 2.76 ERA. Big strikeout numbers. He's put the walks down. League batting 191 against him. Mid to upper 90s heater, hard slider, occasional change.
3-3 ties. We get into the 7th. So unexpected outcomes, right? Maybe Montero with that home run. If you're Clint Hurdle, that's not what you're thinking. Nick Markakis homered twice last night at Wrigley Field. He had 2 on the season going in.
Yeah.
He has homered off Chris Sale tonight. 4-4 Braves and White Sox. The Braves have hit 3 tonight.
Oh, that's not what I was expecting.
So they've hit, what, 5 the last 2 days?
So Markakis has hit more home runs in Chicago this year than he's hit in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. The last 24 hours, he's hit more. Zobrist fouls. Cubs have not led tonight. They were down 3-0. They've come back to tie it.
Early on, the Pirates had some issues with their bullpen, but as I mentioned earlier, of late they've been really good. Melanson's an all-star. This guy's been solid. Tony Watson doing his thing from the left side. Archimedes Caminero, the fireballer, and a big part of it.
Always.
So they give Ben a lot of room to operate out in left center. It's such a big outfield here, and you have to decide what you're going to cover. You see Marte fairly close to the line and left. McCutcheon maybe a step to pull.
Two balls, 2 strikes. That is foul. Foul ball. Larry Vanover. Give it the big wave.
You know what Ken Kaiser would have done?
He would have just barely pointed his finger.
He would have had his thumbs hooked in his pants, and he just would have, lifted his index finger towards foul territory.
I like the overly dramatic umpire mechanics. I'm a fan.
Me too. Yeah. I used to referee high school basketball back in the day. That ball was, well, according to pitch tracks, is on the corner. Zobrist, who rarely argues, not buying it.
Alfonso Marquez hearing it from both sides.
Marquez has been mostly tight on the corners tonight.
Bryant with a double and a walk in 3 tries.
Heard a great Ken Kaiser story the other day. Ken Kaiser was a long-time umpire, American League umpire, big personality, big dude. He weighed about 300 pounds. And years back there when the umpires decided to all quit to try to rework their deal, he was part of that, and he never came back. Well, but the story goes, Kaiser had he had a banquet every year, big dinner in the offseason in Rochester, New York, where he was from. And he would always get big name players, and a lot of the stars all around the league would come in. And he was trying to get Roger Clemens to come in, and he asked Roger, and Roger said, "I'd love to help you out, Kenny, but I got something else going on that very day, and I can't do it." Kaiser said, okay, you know, and then he reached out to him once more. Sorry, can't do it. So it happens that this particular day, Kaiser's got the plate. Roger Clemens is scheduled to pitch, and Kai sends the umpire room attendant over to the clubhouse. I think it was when Roger was in Toronto. Said, Kaiser wants to know if you're going to come to his dinner this winter. And Roger was like, man, I told him 3 times I can't make it. I've got a conflict. Okay.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
You know where this is going. First pitch of the game, right down the gut. Ball 1. Second pitch of the game, right down the gut. Ball 2. Third pitch of the game, right down the gut. Ball 3. Rogers steaming, stomping, staring, yelling, what's going on? And Charlie O'Brien was the catcher. Trots out. He says, hey, Kais wants to know if you're coming to his dinner this winter. And Roger says, yeah, tell him I'll be there. So the zone got huge.
Rizzo with 2 outs and ball 1. Did he show up, though, is the question. It's one thing to promise you're coming.
Right.
It's another thing to actually go. From the stretch with nobody on. The 1-0. A little appeal, and Chris Guccione said, no, look good to me.
Anthony, a .302 hitter in this ballpark prior to tonight.
.99 and Keenan. Two balls and a strike. 3-3 tie. 7th inning.
Throwing 99, you're supposed to be aggressive. See if he challenges here on 3-1. He did.
Rizzo, a blast deep right center. Gone. 4-3 Cubs in the 7th.
Yeah, he's had some big hits in this ballpark. That's his 9th home run here at PNC Park, a no doubter. He's familiar with that part of the yard. We've seen him deposit a few out there. Phillies able to beat him with the 98 elevated. This one down a little bit, easier to get to. What a great swing. That's number 21 for Anthony as you look at our Ford home run replay. Deep into the night.
His 9th career homer in this ballpark in just over 140 at bats. Came in hitting .302 lifetime here at PNC. Cubs have their first lead. Jake Arrieta now can get a win.
The Golden Rhino strikes.
Arrieta looking to be the 3rd Cub with 13 wins before the All-Star break. Joining Fergie Jenkins and Greg Maddux. Fergie did it a couple of times. 1-1 to Contreras. Here it is. It's 1-2. Noah Syndergaard is out due to some sort of injury in New York.
He's been bothered by that bone spur in his elbow. It's a big talking point when we were in the Big Apple.
Just off the outside corner. Inside that time on a breaking ball. 3-2. Casio and Phillies have given up the big home runs. Ball 4. And we were talking about how good this Pirate bullpen had been here lately.
Yeah, they had a run recently. It ended a few days ago, but I think 34 consecutive scoreless innings. Well, that will be interesting to see what becomes of Noah Syndergaard. Blue Jays have been playing well lately. They have a 1-0 lead over the Tigers in the middle of the 7th. Boy, Jay Happ doing a real nice job. Punched out 9 tonight in 5 2/3. Allowed no runs.
Yoenis Cespedes, quad strain, had to leave tonight too. So Starling Marte just missed out on the All-Star game, and there's still a chance he could get in as an injury replacement.
Syndergaard injury that occurred in the 5th inning. It's a 3-0 Nationals lead. Top of the 5th.
One and 0 the count on Russell. The pitch, swing and a miss. We have nearly as many guys on the return trip to Chicago after this series, because there'll be a pretty big group headed to San Diego for the All-Star festivities. Not only 7 players, assistant athletic trainer Ed Halber will work with the National League team as well, and we should mention Jeimer Candelario is going to be in the Futures game, but instead he'll be on the Cubs roster Sunday. 2-2. There's Ed. Jeimer Candelario. Still 2-2 on Russell. Cardinals now have a 2-1 lead at Milwaukee in the 5th inning. Well, Matt Carpenter, he's on the DL. Aledmys Diaz replacing him on the National League team. Diaz hitting .320. Runner goes, swing and a miss, strike 3 to end the inning. Stretch time. Rizzo stretched one out into the seats in right center. And the Cubs lead 4-3.
Live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
Jake Arrieta got down early, gave up a couple of home runs. Freese and Rodriguez in the second inning. The Cubs have come back. They've scored the last 4 runs in this game. And some pinch hitters on the way. Adam Frazier and Josh Bell on deck, ready to make his major league debut. Frazier for Kratz, the catcher. And then Jaso do third. There's a switch hitting Bell. A wind and the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Our first look at Adam Frazier, 24 years old, 6th round pick of the Pirates in 2013 out of Mississippi State. This is his 12th major league game. 7 out of 18, double, triple, 3 steals.
He's leading the International League in hits and batting average, having .333 when promoted.
Bounced foul. So the home runs have kind of overshadowed Jake's efficiency tonight. He has not walked a batter. And his pitch count in very good shape into the late innings.
This has been very encouraging. It started in the very first inning with those punch outs, and then he had that second inning. You're like, uh-oh, just a couple of wayward breaking balls got hit out of the ballpark, or one anyway. Rodriguez was a breaking ball. A lot of outs on the ground since then.
I think whether you're leading or trailing also kind of affects how you view a start in the middle of it. And because Arrieta had been down, maybe didn't look quite as good as it does now that he's leading.
I just think his pitches have looked crisper tonight. His velocity, and maybe it's just radar gun readings, but his velocity last time out just a little bit down from what you normally see. But tonight he's been pretty consistent.
There's 3-2 is ball 4. That is his first walk.
Good AB by the kid there.
For the Pirates, number 55, Josh Bell. will bat for Phillies, Josh Bell.
Chris Bosio to the mound. A little scouting report on the rookie Bell, who's putting up huge numbers at AAA. This is his major league debut. Converted outfielder. They've moved him to first base last year. Came up as a right fielder originally. Dallas, Texas native, second round pick 2011. So he's been in their system for 5 years.
Yeah, most of the attention on the Pirates system has been paid to the pitchers, Tyone and Glasnow in particular, big hard-throwing right-handers. But Bell, very talented, switch hitter.
6'2", 245. When you look at what he's done at different levels in the minor leagues, he has just dominated AAA. Much better there than at the lower levels. Last 2 seasons has hit a combined .330 at AAA Indianapolis. And out into right center for a base hit. Frazier to third, and the Pirates threatening. They've got him at the corners with nobody out, and Josh Bell, first career plate appearance, and he's 1 for 1. Pirates are asking for the baseball. Right now Arrieta has it.
Pretty impressive work by these rookies off the bench against the likes of Jake Arrieta. Frazier, who's been here for a little bit, works the walk, and then Bell wastes no time delivering his first major league hit. Boy, stayed back nicely on that breaking pitch.
There's Jaso. Cubs will play for 2 up the middle. They'll concede the tying run to try to keep the Pirates from grabbing a lead. Pitch.
Jaso struck out first time up, but this is a good guy for Clint Hurdle to have up in this situation. Doesn't strike out a lot. As I mentioned earlier, though, he does hit the ball on the ground a lot, and that's probably why the Cubs are playing for 2. High stress pitches now for Jake. He'll be real fine with that backdoor breaker.
Frazier at the third. Bell is at first. Extra man on the bench here. Bell just joined their roster. They've got 6 guys available. So allowing Clint Hurdle to use a couple of guys here in the 7th inning. And they've both reached. Base hit to tie it. Jaso to left. 4-4.
It's interesting that Clint Hurdle called on Bell to take that at bat. I wonder if Matt Joyce is a little banged up. Joyce, and one of the better pinch hitters in baseball. And he's been good against Arrieta in his career. That's neither here nor there now as Jaso delivers the run-scoring base hit. And that's going to do it for Jake.
Travis Wood coming in. It's a Hyundai call to the pen. Travis Wood called upon to face Gregory Polanco.
Woody 3-0 with a 2.97 ERA. You see left-handed batters hitting just 156 against him. Righty's not exactly wearing him out either. Polanco batting .239 against left-handed pitchers. I think the quality of the work by Arrieta tonight better than the numbers. At least, you know, as I see it, I think positive step, just stuff-wise and command-wise.
Now Wood will try to get out of this thing here with a tie ball game. 4-4, first and second, no outs. And outside to Polanco. So a quiet start tonight. And he has been a very dangerous hitter. Those numbers right there, why Travis Wood is in this game. Bell at second, Jaso at first. 2 balls, no strikes.
Travis 2/3 of an inning last night with a strikeout. Polanco pulling the ball a lot more this year, more authority.
Got to get an out, and it'll not happen. And the Pirates take the lead. Bell scores 5-4. That thing had trouble written all over it. Little slow bouncer. Rizzo spun and could not get it to Wood. Probably be an error. We'll see who gets it.
Yeah, Wood moving in one direction, throw back across it a little bit. He has to reach back for it, not able to make the play. That's a difficult play. And you're right, it just had ugly written all over it from the start. You see Zobrist's position, he's there ready to make the play. Much easier play for him to make. Had Anthony stayed home, that probably would have been the better option.
Carl Edwards Jr. will replace Wood. 5-4. Still nobody out. Right-hander Carl Edwards Jr. is on, and Gregory Polanco, who's been dealing with a left leg issue here lately, lifted for pinch runner Eric Fryer. Backup catcher tonight will run and stay in and catch after Kratz was taken out for a pinch hitter.
Edwards with swing and miss stuff, and you'd love to get a punch out here.
Infield in. 5-4 Pirates. Swing and a miss. Cutting mid-90s heat. He went. Nope.
Catching with a double and a single tonight.
Base hit. Jaso's in. 6-4.
Yeah, this has been fairly typical of the Pirates of late, managing to win games despite not getting great work from their starting pitchers. 3-hit night for McCutchen, something we've seen frequently. We mentioned earlier it's been a down year for him so far, but on a night like tonight, he looks like the McCutchen of old.
A 3-run seventh, still nobody out. And the line will not look good for Arrieta, as all 3 of these runs will be charged to him. There's a 1-0 freeze with an aggressive cut. Here's Polanco on that play at first. I mentioned some left leg discomfort, and you see limping a little bit past first. Oakland. Hurdle got him out quickly. 1-2.
Isn't Polanco the guy of his rookie year? They were working on his gait.
That's been.
Yeah. Some leg issues.
Six to 4. Safe at first. Cubs can only get one. Video guys checking on it.
Looks safe. Madison waited back a little bit on that ball. Get a good look here. Goodish. No challenge coming from the Cubs dugout.
Field in, and Marte takes ball one. You said Bumgarner starting Sunday?
So yes.
He can't pitch.
Yeah, and that's why Cologne.
Kershaw's on the DL. Arrieta has struggled. Syndergaard got pulled tonight.
Yeah,
so Terry Collins went
all
from
these guys having all these options to
start.
Anybody available? Raise your hand if you're available to start on Tuesday.
That's a strike. It's 1-2.
Jose Fernandez would be a good choice.
Johnny Cueto.
Strasburg going back to San Diego.
One, two. We'll try it again. Cubs will have to get it done against a Pirates bullpen that has already given up a couple of home runs tonight. Ocasio and Phillies. Ground ball to second. Zobrist will get one at second as Russell wanted to make sure he got the bag. Another run is in. And it's 7-4 as Fryer scores.
Good job here by Addison making sure he goes back just in case.
I'm not sure if he did get the bag the first time.
Yeah, I don't know. He wasn't sure either. That's why he went back. Yep.
Harrison, the 8th Pirate to bat here in the 7th. 4 in. The shoe sock combo for Harrison tonight.
Yeah, I think it's been distracting for the Cub pitcher. Says he's seen a lot of fastballs up and in, just like that last one. They're drawn to those shoes.
Runner goes. Montero's throw gets into center. And Marte will jog to third. So a steal and an error.
See Miguel recoiling after making that throw. I don't think he ever got a real good grip on the baseball.
3-0. Wearing the golden shoes. Ball 4.
You can see why Ben Zobrist was upset in his at bat, because Marquez just has not called that outside corner very much at all tonight. Rodriguez now the 9th man to bat for the Pirates here in the 7th inning. Lose the 7th, you usually lose the game. Pirates, when leading after 7 innings, are 40-3.
You mentioned Steven Strasburg. He will not pitch in the game. Max Scherzer.
Oh, is that right?
Replaced him.
When did that happen?
Maybe today.
Huh.
Not sure. Cologne replacing Bumgarner, and Scherzer for Strasburg. Max Scherzer could do it.
Fernandez won tonight. He's now 11-4 with a 2.52 ERA. Struck out 8, didn't walk anybody. He's got star appeal. And you could certainly hand the ball to Jake Arrieta, even though he has struggled here lately. Just to reward him. He's the reigning Cy Young Award winner.
Harrison takes off. Rodriguez strikes out, and a 9-batter 7th comes to an end. Pirates now lead by 3. Shot to tie the game. That was in the 6th inning off Juan Nicasio. They would take the lead on Anthony Rizzo's blast off Neftali Feliz in the 7th. Pirates would answer back with 4. And they now lead 7-4. And left-hander Tony Watson is on. Got lots of changes. Frazier and right. Fryer back of the plate. Mercer at short. Rodriguez at first, and the new pitcher is Tony Watson.
Watson very durable, very reliable now for a few years out of this Pirate bullpen. 1-2 with a 2.92 ERA.
Saying left hamstring tightness, the reason Polanco had to leave. strike to Hayward.
Watson has a real good changeup. Helps him compete, especially against the right-handed hitters. Got tough angles for lefties.
Jason pops it up. Rodriguez for the first out.
There are the numbers on Tony Watson. He's been around since 2011. 37 innings, 37 appearances, 24 hits, 4 home runs. Since the beginning of the 2012 season, Watson has made more appearances than any other left-handed pitcher in Major League Baseball. And it's not just quantity, it's quality. A .91 ERA last year, 163 the year before.
Jake Arrieta charged with 6 runs all earned tonight in his 6+ innings of work. Travis Wood charged with an unearned run. Baez will walk down to first. Yet his ERA went from 2.33 to 2.68.
88 pitches, 60 of those for strikes. So again, I'm not going to try to convince people that he was good tonight. He ended up giving up 6 runs, but reasons to be encouraged. I think if people didn't watch the game and they just look at the line score, or his box score, and they're going to go, oh man, Arrieta's just continuing to struggle. It was a little different look tonight, more efficient.
Albert Almora Jr. off the bench takes a strike. He's batting for Montero.
Sometimes you're bad and get away with it, and the numbers can be deceiving that way. Other times you throw the ball pretty well and just have a bad inning or two.
They'll try to turn another one, and they do. 6-4-3, and the inning is over. 7-4 Pirates lead. Wilson Contreras goes from left to catch. Got a new outfield here. As Bryant goes from right to left. Almora goes to center after pinch hitting. Hayward goes center to right. Trevor Cahill will do the pitching.
Trevor 1-3 with a 293 as he takes the mound for the 33rd time. 40 innings, 33 hits, 21 walks, and 46 strikeouts. He's allowed 5 home runs. Got Frazier, who got it started as a pinch hitter in the 7th. Boy, what a job by their rookies, Frazier and Bell. Walk single to get things started off Jake in the bottom half of the 7th. Really keyed that big 4-run rally.
One ball handled by Zobrist. Frazier's out.
Hall of Fame Chicago Cub Ryan Sandberg's favorite restaurant in Chicago is the legendary Harry Carey's Italian Steakhouse. Go where Rhino goes for Chicago's best prime steaks in River North, Rosemont, or Lombard. Call 773-HOLY-COW or visit harrycareys.com.
Here's Matt Joyce off the bench.
So now Joyce.
Backdoor curve is off the outside corner. Joyce has 8 home runs. They've all come in the 7th or later. He's got 4 as a pinch hitter, hitting .355 in this spot. There's the closer Mark Melancon, the All-Star, swing and a miss on a change. 2-1. So Arrieta allowing 6 tonight here. Back in Chicago, the Braves have busted out for 9 tonight, leading 9-6. Chris Sale gave up 8 runs. At least that's yeah, he's given up 8 on 10 hits in 5 innings. Joyce walks. Another home victory for Jose Fernandez. 25-1 lifetime at Marlins Park. 1.43 career ERA at home. Beat the Reds 3-1. He went 7, gave up an unearned run.
Trevor suffered the loss in the finale of the Reds series. 2 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. Tucker Barnard hit the big 3-run home run off of him. He struck out 5 in that outing.
On Mercer, his first plate appearance tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Joyce trying to get to second, and he's in safely. Wild pitch charged to Cahill.
Contreras on that in a hurry. Zobrist tries to reverse spin and apply the tag and couldn't find Joyce.
back-to-back walks. Here's Eric Fryer. So they've had this nice run here lately without Francisco Cervelli, and Chris Stewart, his backup recently, going on the DL as well. Down the right field line, but it'll get foul. Big crowd tonight, 35,904. Cubs will face a right-hander named Chad Kuhl tomorrow night. My first look at him. Oh, it's caught by Baez. Leaping grab. Hope he's all right. That might have strained that chest lat area. He went up high to get it.
Yeah, he's such an explosive athlete. See him get up on the balls of his feet and then extend. Slow motion doesn't do that play justice because that ball was really well struck.
Well timed and a big second out. Now it's McCutchen. He's got 3 hits and 4 trips, including a double and an RBI single in the 7th. I guess it clipped him.
The changeup that got away a little bit from Cahill, and boy, didn't get much of him. Just brushed his hip on the way by.
Basile heads out for David Freese bats.
This is kind of fun. Hockey Hall of Famer Doc Emmerich in the house tonight, calling the game for the baseball channel with Bob Costas. Doc, a lifelong Pirate fan, grew up listening to Bob Prince, the gunner, calling Pirate baseball on the radio.
Yep. 2 wonderful guys, and I'm sure they're having fun tonight.
Doc has done some spring training baseball in the past, but this is the first time he's in an actual regular season game.
Three on, 2 down. The 1-0 to Freese is fouled. So the Pirates trying to get it within 7.5 in the division. The Cardinals are now trailing at Milwaukee 3-2. Jonathan Lucroy and Chris Carter with home runs in the 6th inning. Back to back.
The last time anybody was within 7.5 games of the Cubs was June the 1st.
Can you believe it? Still the biggest lead in baseball. Any division leader. And that will be the case after tonight, no matter what happens.
Pirates, after being swept by the Cubs in Chicago June 17, 18, and 19, found themselves 15 games out.
Yep. Possibly cut that in half. I guess if the Cardinals win, they could be within 7.
Oh, yeah.
Might not be the biggest lead as the throw will go to the plate. Gets past Cahill. Joyce is in 8-4.
Rains it pours. Never lucky he didn't get stepped on.
So that will take away the save opportunity from Melanson, and he might not even pitch. A.J. Schugel likely to take the ninth as a result. Another walk. That's 3 in the inning, along with a hit by pitch. They do not have a hit here in the 8th.
Yeah, 1 in, bases loaded. Without a hit.
Laborious 8th inning here for Cahill. 25 pitches and counting. Nobody up in the bullpen.
Pirates batted around in the 7th. Marte, the 7th man to bat here this inning.
Fouled right out of play. Pirates led 3-0. Cubs scored 4. Pirates have plated the last 5. The third, Baez, and he'll get it to Zobrist in time. We go to the 9th. Pirates 8, Cubs 4. Beverage Depot. Josh Bell, Major League debut, first pitch, and off last year's Cy Young Award winner with a base hit. And would score as well. Vinny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs.
All smiles in the Pirate dugout as they look to close it out here in the ninth. A.J. Schugel instead of Mark Melanson. With the save opportunity gone. Schugel's been solid. This is his 29th appearance. He can give them multiple innings, as you see. 42 1/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 34 hits. Good control. Walked 8, struck out 37. Has a real good changeup. Not a real hard thrower, but average velocity.
Tommy La Stella against Schugel. Two right down the middle, swing and a miss. Rolled to first, and Rodriguez to the bag. Zobrist with one away.
If this were roller derby, the Cubs could have cut off the jam after the Rizzo home run. So that's good. Game over.
So Feliz gave up the go-ahead homer, and he can get a win. This doesn't necessarily feel equitable, but those are the rules. Short center, McCutchen, 2 outs. It'll be up to Bryant. Tap foul. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Ball wide.
Jake Arrieta has dominated this Pirate club. Not tonight. John Lester has a 1.90 career ERA against the Pirates. He'll make the start tomorrow against rookie Chad Kuhl.
If the score holds up, They're trying to stop a 4-game losing streak for this team. 2-2. It's full. Rizzo on deck. I got a tweet earlier that Susie Cool will be here Sunday.
Okay.
Working, so FYI. And a base hit. Second of the night for Bryant.
Attaboy, Chris. Third reach. Doubled first time up. Took a walk in the fifth. Solid single here in the ninth.
Harrison really got up there, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Just in case Melanson would be ready.
There's some bounce in those golden shoes.
Anthony's 7th inning home run gave the Cubs a very short-lived lead tonight. Outside, ball 1. Ground ball foul. One and two.
Moving on that outside edge, doesn't want to give him anything he can pull into the seats.
Two, and it's in the dirt as Bryant will take second. Will not be credited with a steal. Wife of a catcher. Hopefully that's just some daily maintenance, nothing serious. Montero. 3-2 on Rizzo. Here's the pitch. He walked him. So will Clint Hurdle get his closer? I think the answer is yes. And that would be a save spot for Melanson because the tying run will be on deck. So Melanson coming in. Monday call to the pen. They call to the pen. Mark Melancon will try to get his 27th save. He is the Pirates' lone All-Star. Third time in 4 years he has been an All-Star. Cutter curveball guy. Trying to get the final out.
Well, just the one home run. Quite often you see those splits on him, and he'll actually be tougher on left-handed hitters than right-handed. With that cutter in on the hands, that has not been the case this year. Doesn't give up a lot of damage. Smart pitcher, good command.
So Wilson Contreras will simply try to get this game to Addison Russell, who represents the tying run. He is on deck.
Melancon throws strike one just under 70% of the time. So that's his MO. Get ahead and then go to work. Expand with the cutter and the curveball.
With the Yankees, the Astros, and the Red Sox, first 4 years in the majors, had a 4.07 ERA. A journeyman guy, but man, his hit click with the Pirates. He's got a 177 since 2013. Curve. Strike one.
And that's when he started to really lean on that cut fastball.
The time he was the lead-in to Jason Grilli. Well, he's the man, the headliner. Fouled away. It's 0-2. Set at the belt. Long pause in the pitch. Bounced foul. Another 0-2, and he got him on the curve, and that's the ball game. Melancon strikes out Contreras, and the Pirates take the opener of this series. 8-4 the final. Cubs are 8-2 against the Pirates this season, but the Pirates, the team that's smiling tonight. Join us next Friday, 12:30 p.m. here on CSN. Cubs open the second half, hosting the Texas Rangers from Wrigley Field. Stay tuned. More to come. Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs postgame live is next. Once again, final score: Pirates 8 and the Cubs 4. Stay tuned for postgame live.